Hello, everyone. I am Nikki. I'm part of the Litmus marketing team. I want to welcome you to our February 2301 release update. Today, we have presenting Christy Bacchus, our product tech lead, and Anna Brady, our content solution specialist.
Outstanding. Hello, everyone. I'm in the box over here. You can see me live. Welcome again to the release update 2301. And the agenda today is as follows. We're going to be going through the new roles and permissions capabilities and talk about how you can have custom roles for account owner, how you can have customizations for a new role actually called team owner, what the fixed roles are that we have within the system, legacy roles, how they work with the API, and also Anna will be talking about our new content. Really, the idea here is to enable companies to create new leadership and administration personas to better connect people with the training vision in your organization. So again, we're very excited to have you on board today. So you'll see here on the left-hand side, we have our old roles and permissions. If you're an account owner within Litmus, you will be familiar with this area here. And one of the most common requests we have received is we really want to have more control over the roles and permissions within Litmus so we can distribute out training capabilities in the system. So if you notice, Lenny is pointing on the right-hand side to the new customizable roles and permissions. So you're going to see this in a few weeks. You're going to see these new roles appear, and you'll be able to take advantage of creating custom roles. And we're going to also go into the product after I go through these slides so you can see some of this live. Now, there's really two types of roles that are customizable. One is the account owner role. You're going to see more capabilities within that. And then also, again, this new team owner role. You're going to be able to duplicate these and customize them at a very granular level now. So you can create ones from scratch if you want to, or you can duplicate these and then modify them as you see fit. So customers now can create up to 20 new custom roles. And we're very excited about this. And this is going to give you, again, a lot more capabilities in the system. And I'll talk a little bit more about why we chose 20 and how this is to your advantage. Now, if you go in the system and you reach a limit, you're going to receive a message that says, hey, you have already reached your 20 customizable role limit. And that's fine. But just remember some things that we're going to be checking within the system to make sure that you don't exceed that. But 20 should be a very generous number for you. All the new custom roles must be unique in name and also the permission set. So we're going to be checking to make sure that you don't have duplicate names, and then you don't have duplicate custom roles that have the same permission set. And that would make no sense. So if you had 20 roles, they all have the same name, or you have 20 roles and then several of them are the same permission set, that's not going to add you any value. So we check that within the system to make sure that they're unique. The existing team leader and team admin roles will be available under the custom roles tab. So for current customers right now, we're not talking about new customers, but current customers right now, those are going to be viewable under the team leader and team admin role. Let me back up a bit. Those are going to be available in the custom roles tab, the team leader and team admin roles. We're going to take those exact same permission sets today. So don't worry, you're going to be just fine. When we do that upgrade, you're going to have those same permission sets. Now, it's recommended not to delete or modify the team admin or team leader roles for my existing customers. So again, we're copying those over, and removing those roles or changing the names could impact specific API integrations. When I go into the product, I'll talk more about that. Now, the instructor, manager, impersonator roles will continue to be available as really a secondary role, and they're to be used alongside the system and not these new custom roles. So you're going to see that manager has not changed, instructor has not changed, impersonator has not changed, administrator itself has not changed. Now, My new customers in the newly created orgs, you will not get the team leader and team admin roles in your custom role section. You're not going to see anything. You're not familiar with those roles. But for our existing customers, that's not going to change, and that permission set's going to be the same for you. One thing I do want to add, we'll answer your questions at the end of the session, but no, please put those in the Q&A box as we outlined before. So the idea is to have extended permission sets really to control user objects, reports, content. So now each one of those objects is going to have 6 permissions. So within those sets where you have, content, team, people, reports, you're going to have create, delete, edit, update, assign, unassign, view, and manage all. So this is both for account level roles and also team level roles. You're going to be able to really offer those at an individual team role level. So we can decide whether we want custom roles at the account level in the entire system, or we want team specific roles. For those account level roles can also manage account settings and individual litmus features for their custom roles. And when I show you the product, that'll make a little bit more sense here. Now, what we've also done is we've added an additional feature within the admin view where you can actually see the team view too within the same system. So you're going to have a new drop down appears called team view. And as an admin or account owner, I should say, in the system, if you have account owner role, you'll be able to see the team view too without having to log in again as a separate user. Now, if you hold that account level role and team level role, you'll have that option again to view the teams. And so again, you don't have to log out to change that view. The team role assignment flow has been updated. So that's unique in the system now. So I'm going to show you how that works. A user's team role assignment is now an intuitive flow. It was very confusing before, where you go in and you create a new user and you assign them to team leader, team admin role. It's only in the same drop-down box. What does that mean? How does that tie into everything? We've taken away that confusion and added additional functionality to make it easier for you. So again, you can create this new user through a simple flow, assign them to a team level role, a team first, and then a team level role within one workflow. All right. Okay. So team level role assignment is now streamlined, as I just said. That'll give you the option to select a team, and then you will be required to select a team role. Remember, we have the new role called team owner, and that gives you the entire permission sets, but you can create a custom role based on that and really narrow down the items that you want for those particular team roles. Now, access level in the system is now called user role. That's across the whole application now. So you're going to see user role within our APIs and bulk import template that still retains the name of access level. And again, team leader and team admin role in the dropdown is now replaced with team role across the entire app. Okay. So in this release, we are not supporting custom role assignments in the API and bulk import. We will do that in the future. And there's no litmus assign in custom roles. So you cannot use litmus assign with custom roles currently. But again, that will change in future releases. The access levels will continue to support account owner, administrator, and learner roles, but that team leader will no longer be supported as an access level user role value, so team leader, team admin. Now, one thing we will discuss is also, well, what if someone has an account owner or account administrator level role in the system, and then they also have a team role? What happens if I take one or the other? And we'll talk about that in just a second. All right. Now, what I want to add here is if I am a account owner and I have, or account owner custom role, I should say, and I'm a team, I have a team custom role, and let's say that the team custom role is taken away, I still retain my highest level of roles. So that means I would retain the administrator account owner level role. So just note that it will retain that. If I take away the account level custom role, it will retain the team role, the highest level for you. Now, one thing you may be concerned about is how are my existing APIs going to work? They will continue to work as expected. The following APIs will also work as expected. Promote, demote a user to team leader, promote, demote a user to team admin, and get team administrator and team leader for a team. Those will be retained and work as designed. So here's a few screenshots. Again, we're going to go into the application itself. So you notice here, a little bit hard to see, but on the right-hand side, we have that new team owner view or team view on the right-hand side, again, directly from the administration console. I will also talk about how the dashboard itself is going to change here. Here's a new roles and permissions. You saw that earlier where we have two areas, the system roles and also the custom roles and how that works. The next is we want to create, edit a new role. We're going to go through that in the demonstration, but that shows you some of the UI here. You see now we have these checkboxes we didn't have before where we can narrow down the permission sets. All right. And again, impact if a role is deleted. And you'll see in the application, you'll notice here that we have different custom roles. Again, you can tell this is an existing customer because they have the team admin and team leader roles. These are the users that are impacted that have that particular role. So if you reach your limit of 20, for example, and you see there's a role with maybe one user or 0 users, you can actually delete that role and know that it's not going to impact anybody. But you'll know here how many people it will impact if you delete that role. Again, for new customers, this area in custom roles is not going to have team admin and team leader. So that's going to be different, again, for our new customers. All right. So you'll notice you can do the new account level custom roles, and then you can also do the new team level custom roles. This is an example of the account level custom roles. You'll see here on the left-hand side, account is highlighted, and you can go down that list and create that role. Now, we require that the name be unique. We also require that you put in a description. Those are the two required fields for that. Okay, so this again just highlights the rest of the page here. Again, you have many different options now. One of the most popular requests was I want to narrow down the account features area. So I only want so many, or only want so many people in the organization to access maybe the billing area or the branding area, for example. And you can do that in the account level of roles and permissions. Again, we'll get to the application in just a second. So as I mentioned, it's now more granular. One thing I do want to highlight is that the API keys are still only for account owners. So no one else is going to have the capabilities to see the API keys. I want to highlight that. That's a very important thing that you should be aware of. Okay. So as I mentioned before, and I'm just going to keep repeating it because it is just such a big change, is in giving someone a custom team role. It is a two-step process. We're going to create a user from scratch, and we'll see that here in a second. All right, so before we go over to Anna, we're going to go into the application and take a look at that. So let me share my screen here. Okay, can everyone see Litmus? All right, I will assume that is a yes. Okay, very good. So What you see here is the custom role area. So we're now in roles and permissions. We're in our UAT environment. You'll see that the impact of the various roles, we've got some account level roles. And at the bottom, we've also got some team level roles. And you can see there's no one using this one that I created here. And there's 2 users using Christy content only. But what do we do to create a custom role? So we'll go ahead and click on create role. All right, looks like I timed out here. Let me log back in. Hang on just a second. This is live TV, folks. That happens. So we'll go ahead and go in here. Okay, so we'll go back to account settings and we'll go back to Litmus features. Actually, we'll go back one. We'll go to roles and permissions and we'll go to custom roles and we'll go to create role. Okay, so this is going to be my customer webinar role. Customer webinar role. And do I want it to be an account level role or do I want it to be a team level role? Notice I can click on the 2 and I'm just going to call this an account level role. Account level role, forgive all misspellings here, maybe reporting only. Now you really want to do a descriptive name here. So we'll just say reports only. So as I scroll down here, here's the new options that you have. So I'm going to be able to select create, delete, edit, assign, or view from within manage people. The same for manage content, the same for manage teams. And we have different options for manage reports and then overall manage account. This is where I was talking about maybe you don't want anybody looking at billing. Maybe that's your account owner. Maybe you don't want people changing the theme. So this is really where you decide who I want to give access to what. This is quite robust now, and I think you'll be very, very happy with this. But let's say that I want people to just manage reports. So I select all for that. And then as I click these boxes here below, or to the right, I should say, it will shrink down that page. Again, I'm just going to say, I'm just going to assign that particular role set. So we go ahead and save it. And then now I have my customer webinar role reports only. Now notice on the right-hand side, I have edit, I have delete. And so I can change that and assign that particular access level, that particular role to people. Now, again, it will tell me if I reached my maximum level of 20 roles. Again, it's 20 roles, and there's no limit on like you can only have 10 team roles and 10 system roles. You can actually have 5 system type roles or account roles, and then 15 team roles. So again, no limits on whether they're account type roles or team-based roles. So just note that there. Okay, just checking to make sure everybody can still see my screen. All right, very good. So we created that. Now that's important. Now remember I was talking about the team assignments. So if I go over into, let's go to people first. So we're going to create a new user in the system. And I'm going to just call this Anna Brady, who's our content specialist. She's going to be talking next. I'm just going to create her as a new person in the system. Now, notice now that we have user role. So access level disappears in the solution, and I have learner, and I have all these other options I can give her. I can give her account owner, administrator, or a team-based role. And so you see now you have more options. So it's not confusing where, I could only assign someone like, an account owner, team leader, / team administrator only, and you didn't really know what that gave you. Now, if I go to team role, notice on the right-hand side, it's going to give me this message. And if I go to my search bar, I can now search for a particular team. So I can look for if Ramya has a team, or I should have one in here. We've got that. We've got Christy's awesome team here and Christy's cool team. So it's going to give you this window of 15 teams to select from where you can go ahead and assign that user to a team, but also promote them to the team role. So on the awesome team, I can do the Chrissy's team owner, no content. I can do a team owner by Stan here, team manager, whatever I want to do. So Christy's team owner, maybe no content. And I can also, for this particular team, do Christy's content only, or make her perhaps the team owner of this team. So when you're a team owner by default, you're going to have all the permission sets that you would have in a team. So you'll be able to do everything there. So I can go ahead and assign those. And again, I can, do that, and then put in email and all the other items here. So I just want to show you that now when I assign someone a team role, that it's going to require that I also assign them to a team, and that I give them these new team permissions. So these new custom team roles can be assigned at this point. Now, for a simple learner role, you can do just as you would today, assign them to a team. Nothing's changed in those regards. But when it comes to actually giving them the team role assignment, now you're going to do it in this two-step process in the system. So I wanted to highlight that. Okay. The other thing I want to go into is the team view. So, and I created this ahead of time. So we'll go over to the team view here. So let's do that. And hopefully it'll let me go over there. So we'll see. As I was joking earlier, live TV, so we'll see what it does. So here we go. So I have, not only do I have account owner permissions in the system, I have the ability now to see the team view without logging out or in. Now, I'm team owner of team 13299, but if I have a team custom role, I may not have some of these options here above. So I may have reports only, I may have teams only, and then within those navigation items, I'll have certain subsets of permissions too. So again, this is nice because I don't have to log in, log out again, but it gets down to that granular level. So that team view option will appear. The other thing I want to highlight, if I go back to the main administration dashboard, so let's go back to the admin view here. One thing that is important to note is that the learner experience will not change for any of this, but your administration experience will vary a little bit. Depending on your permission sets, you will either see these buttons or you will not. So if you don't have the ability to create a course, create a user, create a team, et cetera, these buttons will not appear. Now, for markings, for example, you will still retain that particular widget on the page. It will just basically say that no modules require marking. And that is the same case for several other widgets, such as approvals, things like that on the page. So again, the widget itself will remain, but you won't be able to do anything with it. Within activities, you'll see some of those activities, but if you don't have a deeper level permission set, you're not going to be able to click on certain items. So just note there and be conscious of that. Again, you have control over your custom administration dashboards. You probably want to take those widgets off of those particular pages. Okay. So again, to reiterate what we've seen, you now have the ability to do custom roles. So let's go back over those. We'll go to account settings, and then we'll go to roles and permissions. Again, you have your customizable roles here. Notice on the right-hand side, you have new options, duplicate and edit, and also view those. For the fixed roles, you can view these. Now notice if they're grayed out, you can't change those. These fixed roles do not change. It shows me a little bit of detail surrounding those. But again, these fixed roles do not change at all. Impersonator works exactly the same as it did before. Manager, remember, manager is key because someone has to have their manager field populated for that manager icon to show up in the manager's learner view. The instructor does not change. You still need to add people within the instructor area. And again, learner, as you see here, does not change. So these are the fixed roles. We just want to reiterate. We put that on this page here. Customizable roles are here, so you can duplicate those, or you can start from scratch and create those custom roles as you saw earlier when I created this one. Again, you can go and edit it. Team roles, again, you have different permissions set for that. But we added, again, create, delete, edit, assign, and view. So I think that's really important, along with when you add people to those particular teams, you're going to give them a team role. And as I mentioned earlier, when you take a role away from someone, they're going to retain their highest level of permission set, so their highest level of roles. So again, if I am an account owner and I have a team role, if I take that team role away, I'm going to retain that account level permission set. If I take the account level permission set, I'm going to retain the team custom role. So again, that's really important thing to reiterate. Total of 20 different roles. Looking at my notes here, some of the other things that I want to highlight. Again, that those dashboard widgets may change for you, meaning that the buttons are going to go away if you don't have those roles, but the widgets are going to remain. And then the APIs, we do not have the custom roles in the APIs or the bulk import yet. Again, for my existing users, another thing I want to highlight is if you do create within your team set, so if we go back to custom roles here, and I, for my team admin in Team Leader, I'm using the APIs, and I change the name of team admin to team admin 123, but in my APIs, it says team admin. That will affect your APIs, so don't change that name there. But again, we're going to retain those permission sets. So just be conscious of that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to go back to the main area. And then I'm going to go ahead, and at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Anna. Okay, I think you're on mute.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Oh, good. All right. Thank you for that, Christy. That's awesome. I hope our customers are just excited about those new roles and permissions. I know I am. But now let's hop into some content updates. So like Christy said, my name is Anna, and I'm a content specialist here at Litmos. So let's just dive right into it. So in this release, we have added, for the Enterprise Edition, 75 new courses, and that gives us a grand total of 2,295 courses in our course library. It's crazy to think, when Litmos started with content, we had about 200 courses. So it's crazy to see how much we've grown and how much we're going to continue to grow to push out the best possible content to our customers. Within our ANZ Compliance Edition, we have added 8 new courses this release for a grand total of 194 courses. We have also refreshed some courses in the soft skills area. So we aim to keep our courses up to date with current information, but also giving it a look and feel that's going to be optimal to your learners for both learner outcomes and experience. So some refreshed content topics that we have included in this release include meeting effectiveness, retail, and online facilitation. I also want to send out or push out another reminder of our neurodiversity suite that was released back in October and highlight a few courses there. So we have Intro to Neurodiversity, Neurodiversity in the Workplace, and then Types of Neurodivergence. Now we are going to touch on some compliance topics that have come out in our new release. So there are 3 major subjects we've covered under compliance, and those include diversity and inclusion, financial conduct courses for UK, and UK employment law for managers. Under DE&I, there are 9 new courses, and 2 have been updated, and these cover topics including racial inclusion, microaggressions, and cultural intelligence. We've also released 3 new courses in the financial course in the UK, and those topics cover things such as fraud awareness, UK compliance law, and EU competition law. Finally, we have added some courses in the UK employment law topic as well. We've released topics including dismissal, misconduct, and performance management. Now let's talk about some updates to our ANZ Compliance Edition. We've added updates for both the Work Health and Safety AU courses, as well as our Victorian Child Safe Standards. All 5 WHS courses have been updated to reflect Western Australia's commencement for their WHS Act, which is based on the national model for the WHS Act. We have also updated all 5 courses to reflect the 11 new child safe standards, which came into effect as of July 2022. Finally, let's talk about leading learning. So this is our new translation initiative. We have created a series that is going to be released in 4 different languages, and those languages include Korean, Japanese, Portuguese, and English. And this series is going to cover some of our most popular Litmus content. And again, I'm going to highlight some of those important areas. So within customer service, we have customer service excellence and communicating with customers. Under ethics and conduct, we have conflict of interest and mindful leadership. And then for health and safety, we also have health and safety at work and fire safety awareness. Continuing on with that leading learning translation initiative, we've also translated courses under human resources, sales, and personal development. And again, some popular courses I just want to call out are project management and quality management under human resources, executing a successful sale and negotiation and influence under sales. And then finally, we have productivity and time management and setting objectives under personal development. So I know that was pretty quick, but that is all we have for content. But I just really do want to point out these translation initiatives are going to be really helpful, especially for our global audiences. So we're really excited about it and hope you guys are just excited as us about our new content. So again, open up the chat for Q&A, and I'm going to give it back to Christy.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Anna, for that. We're excited about that new content. I've got some great questions in the Q&A box. Again, if you'd like to ask those now, that is perfect. I will do my best to answer those. Any that I cannot answer, Anna cannot answer, we will follow up with you. We have your name in the chat, so we'll be able to do that. The first question is, if we use Litmus through Paycor Perform, will we have this ability? I think the question I have for you is, do you have account owner access? If you have account owner access, you will have the option to see the roles and permissions. And then if you have the roles and permissions menu item, you definitely would have this ability. So again, I'm not sure how your Paycor Perform implementation is, but if you do have access to account owner permission sets, then you would see these menu items. If you don't, if they just gave you administrator rights with no account owner access, you would not see this. The second question here is, we are brand new LMS customers. Excellent, welcome. Will we automatically get the updates? Absolutely. So one of the follow-up questions on that is, when will the update be? Well, this has been a significant project for the Litmus team. As you know, we've had a lot going on in the last couple months with transitioning off of SAP to an independent company. So it's taken a lot of resources. We want to get this right. It's impacted the entire product. So we don't want to release something that is buggy for you. So what we've done is we've pushed out again. I know that's frustrating. I ask that you be patient. We all ask that you be patient with Litmus. Once we roll that out in the next few weeks, you'll be able to take full advantage of that. And yes, new customers, you'll receive that. Okay. One of the questions is too, and I've been with the organization, if you look at just the Litmus side of things, for about 8 years. And we have in the past, we've done sandboxes for our customers. One is with our AI recommendations. So we've had customers in beta with that program. And then, so we have beta programs, and then we've also had sandboxes, especially for major UI changes. And again, as an independent company, we'll have a lot more freedom to allow sandboxes for our customers. So the answer is yes, we will have that in the future. Okay. Is it possible to restrict view of the content to only assigned content being viewable in the role setup so a specific type of user cannot see the course library, for instance? Well, as we're all aware of, there's a global catalog and there's team-based libraries. So if someone's in a certain team, they would still see that team library, so that would not change. If it's a global catalog, everyone gets to see that. So I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. Right now you can't narrow it down. Either you see the course library in the team or not. So I think I'm answering your question. If not, go ahead and type a follow-up one in the chat. If I want to create an instructor role that has the added ability to register users to a course, mark module submissions, and manage module course completions, which permission set would that fall under? Edit users or edit content? So for instructors, if they want to do anything with an ILT, in particular, if you're talking about an instructor-led training course, they would still need the create content permissions. We've not created a specific instructor one. For marking module submissions, the same applies for the ability to create that content. So you would need that permission set. If a user used to be an account owner and created rules using the assign feature, what will happen to those rules if we take this permission from that user? That's a great question. I may have to follow up with you on that particular one. I would think that the existing roles that they have right now, existing rules that they created with assign would remain. They just wouldn't be able to do future ones, but I will follow up on that particular question. Okay. For users who are added to a team via the API, okay, so they're added to a team, does the wording change for that process that needs to be updated in the API, or is it just for other team and account roles? So I think you're asking about if I put them on a particular a team. Well, of course, if you have a team code, that's not going to change. Would the wording change for that process need to be updated in the API? Or is it just for other team and account roles? So team is going to remain the same. And the team name would have to, or the team code will remain the same. Team name doesn't matter in this case because we're just looking at the team assignment. So again, I'm not sure if I answered that, but if not, ask me in the chat again. Okay. I have an existing account with the team admin role. Okay. I understand that we should not delete or retitle the role, correct? We'll be able to customize the permission more than what they are now. Not in the API. So not in the API itself, but you will be able to edit the team admin role. So you can edit the permissions. It's going to take on the existing ones that you have now, but then you can go back and edit that. But if you're using the API, keep that in mind not to change the team name. Is there a list of the capabilities permissions of each of these roles that I can refer to? We will have release notes that we'll be releasing just before the release. You'll be able to look at that on there. And anything that you see in the release notes that's missing, please let us know. We can follow up with an FAQ, which we've talked about, which I think we should do too. Can you automate who is added to a team or account role? Like everyone in a specific job title is automatically given a specific team role. So right now with Litmus Assign, we're not going to be supporting custom roles. So you would not be able to do that with Litmus Assign right now. Can I create a custom team role and move existing team admins leads to these roles, yes, you should be able to do that. You should be able to assign them to that custom role. Is there a publicly available development roadmap for future product updates? Great question. We will be releasing that shortly. We're in the process of making changes to that. Let's see. A question for Anna. Was the Leading Learning series going to be translated into Spanish?
I am in the process of finding out that answer right now. So if we don't get to it by the end of the webinar, I will get back to you personally with that answer.
Okay, another question again for the rollout. We're looking in the next few weeks. We'll keep you posted when we're going to be rolling this out. We've actually done this differently this time around. In the past, we had the webinar after the release. If you have a preference, please let us know if you prefer it like this right before the release, or if you prefer it after, let us know. All right. If someone just needs the reporting engine to run reports for more than just a team, say for the whole company, how would that be set up? You would do that as an account custom role, and that's where you would set that up. Are roles able to be assigned at the course level right now, or does the course need to be assigned to a team? So you need to put the course in a team. So they're not course level roles. They're roles based on what you could do in the account, in the system overall, and what you can do at a team level. So again, they're not course level roles, they're team and account level roles. Do you have to be assigned to a team in order to be assigned a team manager role? I think you meant a team custom role. Yes, you need to be part of a team. All these good questions. When you add remove roles, does the role holder receive notification that roles have been either added, removed? I do not believe they do, but I need to follow up on that. Can I restrict the view of learning records so that a team custom role can't see the course results assigned to the learner outside that team? I think if you were looking at within a team, and you're looking at, you'd have to go in the course, you have to go into person's record or the course and then go in the person. I don't think you can go down to that granular level. Okay. Is Litmus working on a way to set up an old version of the course as an alternative to the new version? That's a great question. We have several courses that employees have taken already. It gets updated, but we don't need them to take it again. So we're looking at how we're going to do versioning in the future. We do the, certifications, or, what I should say is compliance type settings where, if you have to take a yearly course, you can auto set it up within Litmus to assign them that particular course in a year, but it's the same course. You can update it during that process. But we're looking at ways of doing versioning a little bit differently, and that'll come out in the product roadmap. Some other questions, related to the product overall. Is Litmus working on a copy user capability with many users with the same profile except for the name and emails? So it would be very helpful. We could copy an existing user profile and just change what we need. One of the things too, if you are not aware, we do have what we call the AHA portal, and that's where you can put in feature requests in there. You can also talk to your account representative about features you would like to see. I'd have to get back to you on that copy user capability. Usually you can change certain aspects of the profile, but I understand this would be a useful feature, so we'll talk about that offline. All right, you're very welcome. Thank you for answering my question. Is there a list catalog I can view for the new content? Anna?
There should be one coming out.
Okay. Also, is there a list catalog of what is being retired?
I will find out.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, is marking an assigned course complete one of the new permission options? I don't believe it is. I think I don't think we narrow it down by markings in particular. I will follow up to make sure I answer that correctly for you. Okay. All right. I think that is it. I don't see any other questions. I just want to thank you. We have about 10 minutes left. I'll give you one final call for any other questions that you have. Again, we will follow up if there's with the questions with the individuals who have asked them that we did not answer this session. If there's any corrections or additions, we will also send that information out. Again, the release should be released in a few weeks. Hang tight. We know you've been very patient. We love all of you. We really appreciate your time. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Nikki.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't see any more questions coming in, so I would like to thank everyone for attending. This now concludes today's Release Update 2301 webinar. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.